Commission meeting, regular meeting, agenda, October 14th, 2025. Pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank all the commissioners that are here tonight. Thank you for coming. Roll call.
Spain.
Here.
Rolo.
Here.
Norris.
Here.
Moderano.
Here.
Leone.
Here. Public comments? None?
Not unless, do you have any public comment?
No.
Okay.
Approval of minutes, July 8th, 2025 regular meeting. I read through them. I didn't see no additions or corrections. If anybody has any, bring them forward. If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion. Make a motion.
Go ahead. How about motion from Mr. Moderano, second from Mr. Spain.
Okay.
Roll call.
Spain.
Yes, sir.
Rolo.
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Moderano.
Yes.
Leone.
Yes. Old business, none. Staff, anything?
No.
New business, public hearings, none. New business, 2024 building code adoption plan, I guess I would say. Okay, Mr. Nick.
Yep. I'm gonna pull up a slideshow here for you guys. So the 2024 building code adoption. We took this. Staff took this to City Council on September 22nd for a work session. We also had a public meeting that same day. Later on that day, we've been. So the plan for adoption, it still has to go to council 2 more times for a public hearing. Please bring your chair around. Yeah, please.
Thanks.
So we're still going to try to adopt this year. The effective date of the code we're still in flux about, because what's driving this is House Bill 1362, and I was going to pull that up, and I will. So that has a date of July 30 or June 30th of 2026 for adoption. So, or July 1st, I guess. But this House bill is actually what's driving this kind of, or this is the main driver of the updated building code. This, like I said, it's a House bill. It if you want, I can send it out, whatever, send you guys an email with it or print it out for you guys. The main thing here is going to be where are we at? Okay. On or after July 1st, 2023 and before July 1st, 2026, municipalities and counties that update a building code shall adopt and enforce an energy code that achieves equivalent or better energy performance than the 2021 International Energy Conservation Code and the Model Electric and Solar Ready Code developed by the board. If you miss that window and it goes beyond July 1st, 2026, you shall adopt and enforce an energy code that achieves equivalent or better energy performance than the Model Low Energy and Carbon Code language developed by the board. I put both of those in the drive. This low energy and carbon code language, it's a real monster. It's even more stringent than the Solar Ready and the Model Electric Code. Now I know, and I talked with a couple people quite a bit. We talk about it all the time, actually. But this is a House bill, and I know a lot of people say, well, we're a home rule community. We don't need to appeal to the state or anything like that. There's 2 things with that. One would be the state can withhold funds, or it could hinder us in receiving funds from the state. That's through DOLA. So, like our Church Street project we were briefly talking about, that's a DOLA funded grant project. We received quite a bit. I could have looked it up beforehand. I know my department alone has handled probably about $5 million in DOLA funds. So it is a big part of our city. So that's one thing. If you're not up to date and have the stuff adopted, they could withhold some of that. It'll hurt your application when you go to ask for those funds. And then the second one is going to be the state can overrule a home rule when local ordinances conflict with matters of statewide concern. So since this is a statewide concern, energy as a whole is a statewide concern, they can overrule our home rule because it is a statewide concern. So that's kind of the two things that, like I said, that's driving us to have to adopt some of this energy efficiency or the international energy efficient or conservation code. Has anyone got any questions?
So Nick, I guess I'll go back. Mike Yarman went into our building code.
Land use code.
Yeah.
You went to the land use code, yes.
And he kind of tweaked different things as far as code.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So is that still going to pertain, or is this going to all start over again?
No, so that was the land use code. This is the actual building code.
Yeah, I know.
So the land use code determines what people could do on their property. That's where we do our CUPs. That's where we do our rezones and everything like that. The building code is how, whenever that actually gets approved and they get all their land use approvals, that's how they're actually going to construct a new building. This is that building code. So it's a totally separate than what Michael Yerman just went through with you guys.
So that ain't gonna have nothing to do with what we did already.
No.
Because he went through building too.
Okay, yeah.
He went through building code too.
Yeah.
He tried to make it better for the contractors.
Mm-hmm.
He tried to make timelines and different, instead of going to every staff and that staff looking at it.
Yeah.
And then turn it over to this person
Yeah.
and that staff, then come back to you.
All that stuff.
And then you come back to us and
Yeah.
then go back to the city council.
Yeah, all that streamlining stuff is
Yeah,
still,
right.
that will still continue. This is going to change that.
They ain't gonna change it.
No,
No.
this won't change that. That's 2024 building code. Yes, sir.
So in our packet, there was the PowerPoint that
Yeah, I'm gonna walk.
the city folks, or that was from the folks from the state.
Yeah, so that was through a consultant that the state hires. They hire consultants to help municipalities, local jurisdictions implement the code. So the state actually provides that for us. So she comes down, that was Shauna Manzingo, I always mess up the last name. She works primarily with rural communities. So she kind of focuses on the Lahanas, the Lamars, Trinidads. Now, there's a lot of local communities, there's a lot of communities that don't even have building codes. So, but if they do, then they'll go, she'll work with them. So the good thing about that is she has a rural mind. She understands that some of this stuff doesn't really affect us as much because we don't have the density that Denver or Colorado Springs does. So she helps us through that and gets us through that. So that's actually her PowerPoint that she presented to council and to when we had the public meeting. So she's provided through the state. The state covers her costs actually, but she helps us rewrite these codes. So, and the good thing about that is, like I said, she could help us kind of pick through that code, that language in there. It says refer back to the 2020 International Energy Conservation Code. We could go through and handpick some things out of that instead of the 2024. So, and we do in a couple cases in the building code. Does that make sense? Did you have a question?
Yeah. Sounds like this could help our community to innovate and to meet the needs of the future. Is that
That's the overall goal for the state. It's definitely I want to say it's going to be pushed by energy conservation, and that's the main goal for all this, and that's the main goal for the state as well.
right?
So it'll help generate more energy efficient homes
Also, I believe
and
that
commercial
it
spaces.
sounds like it could lead to job opportunities and growth in that area.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a part of it. Is the state also has to provide our contractors. Now, if we can't force contractors to go, but they have to provide some training for some of this stuff because it is new, and that'll offer some opportunities for some of our contractors to get some additional training because there's gonna be some different things that they'll have to take care of, as far as blow door tests go and stuff like that.
Do they have an estimate of how much it's going to increase the cost to build? Like, we already have had 0 permits pulled in the last year for new construction on homes, because it's already
Yeah.
over $300 a square. So
Mhm.
how much is it?
Yeah, it goes through it in the PowerPoint.
Did you say 0?
0.
We haven't had a new home construction. The newest home construction was on Peak and Moores Canyon, Peak and Moores. That was last year. I think they pulled their permit. They got their CO this year though. But yeah, so, and to be honest, that's about our pace. We build about 2 or 3 new homes a year. Can I get to that when I get to it?
Oh, sure.
Thank you. Was there any other questions as far as that House bill goes? Okay. So I'm going to preference this too with the city of Trinidad. Actually, we use the state, and I don't know if everyone knows this. We have a residential building inspector on staff. We have a commercial building inspector that's a third party. So we use him for some of our bigger projects like the Loves. He's the same inspector Los Angeles County uses actually, which is nice. But for state plumbing and electrical, or for the electrical and plumbing, we actually use the state. We don't have anyone on staff that could do the permits and all that. So actually, that all falls onto the state. We have an electrical inspector and a plumbing inspector. They do Los Angeles County, Trinidad, the local areas around here, and then our local municipalities around here, cities, as well as Huerfano County. So this is kind
Where
of
do they come out of?
I believe the plumbing inspector is out of La Vida. I think that's where Johnny lives. And then the other one comes out Pueblo. Yeah. I forget his name. Chris, I think. So, yeah. We work with them. We work with them a lot, go back and forth. So we have a good relationship, but they catch stuff, they send it to us. We catch stuff, we send it to them and stuff like that. So we talked about the House bill. Shauna, we were also working on the State Wildlife Resiliency Code. We're not going to talk about that one today because that is a whole other can of worms. It is also a monster. So we'll be talking about that later. I don't know if I'll have the fire chief come in and talk about it as well because it affects him just as much as it affects my department. So this is the electric ready. The overall, the 2024 building codes, there's not too many changes. The main thing is going to be the energy conservation. That's the biggest thing. And it's going to be this solar ready stuff, the electric ready, solar ready, and EV ready. So that's kind of the main three things that are going to really affect people. Yeah, like I said, and there's actually some breaks in the building code. It's made it a little easier to build actually in a couple areas. So that's where they threw some of this at us, and they kind of gave us, they backed off a little bit on some of the other stuff as far as we get into it, like deck requirements. There's a couple things that they get back into, they backed off on. But for electric ready, this is don't get mad at me, I don't write the codes, I'm just here. Because this is a hard one to digest.
It looks like it might be.
Yeah, so the first thing is combustible appliances. That's the kind of the code they use, or the term they use for fossil fuel appliances. This is going to be like your oven, your dryer. So obviously you have like an electric oven. You can also have an electric oven or electric stove. You can also have it's referring to having a gas stove basically. That'd be a combustible appliance. I guess some places there's gas dryers. That'd be a combustible appliance. But what you have to do is if you do a new construction, this is residential, small commercial, or multifamily, you have to dedicate and properly size a phased branch circuit, place an electrical receptacle or junction box connected to the electrical panel within 3 foot of a cooking appliance or clothes drying appliance, or 6 feet from a space heating and cooling. So what this means is, if you're going to put in a gas stove, you also need to put in an electric box receptacle within 3 feet of that. Because if the next person comes in and moves in 10 years or 100 years, they could take out that gas and put an electric one, and you don't have to pay for that cost. So that's where, this is what electric ready truly means. And then the same is for your space heating, cooling, and water heating. So if you have a water heater, you have a gas water heater, you have to have the ability to have an electrical water heater with hookups at least. So you do have to put in all the electrical wiring and everything like that. Now,
That means GFCI and.
yeah, you get your FGIs and everything.
Right.
But I know what everyone's going to say is, well, if I'm going to pay to put in an electric stove, I'm going to pay to put in an electric heater, but then I'm going to turn around and put in gas stove and gas heater, or gas whatever. Why would I pay it twice, kind of, or why should I do that? So that's a very good question, and that's the question that this code is kind of making people ask, is why should I pay to do that?
You're increasing the cost.
It's increasing the cost, that's right. Yeah,
It is.
unless you went electric only.
Right.
Or it's pushing
Yeah.
for electric only
So
house.
that's correct. So that's a lot of this is geared towards is electric only.
Wait,
Like I said, this is a state.
man, y'all are gonna get us in trouble at Walmart.
You have to have sufficient electrical panel space and capacity for the future electrical appliances. So basically, you have to have a panel that's sized for an electric water heater. One good thing is we do have a development up Wahatoya, now Duran Way, that's newly constructed. There's no gas in that development right now. So there's going to be some feedback, at least from my end, to say they are going to be building electric homes. How much do those costs look like, and see how feasible it is but they are going to build some. So we are getting a little bit of a test in that. That's being completed by Duran Ventures. So, and then this doesn't include fire pits. So I looked that up. It's any or fireplaces, because that's not a primary heating source. And then, so this is, like I said, this is for residential, small commercial, multifamily. Now they have some exceptions for large commercial. Large commercial is over 10,000 square feet. That's a big building. That's a big commercial space. So you don't have to put in the wiring itself, and I don't think you need to size the panel as well. But you do have to have conduit, or you have to have conduit in place. But the thinking of that is, when there's updates to this equipment, a 10,000 square foot space takes a lot of heat. When they update it, it's going to be a lot bigger project than just that. So it kind of excludes the large commercial for a lot of this, but I don't really know how much that'll affect us. We don't get too many 10,000 square foot buildings. Any questions or comments? Or I'm here for it.
Okay, so this has to somehow get written into the building code, right?
Yeah.
Right now it's a suggestion and it's sitting alongside and saying, if you adopt this, you can get DOLA money. If you don't adopt it, you don't get any DOLA money.
Yeah.
Well, is it saying that, or is it saying you may not get any DOLA money? I didn't read that in there, that you ain't going to get any DOLA money.
No, it will hurt your applications when you apply for money, because they look for.
That asked, right?
Yeah, they'll ask for if you've adopted the electric ready, solar ready, stuff like that. They will ask on especially if you're going for like an affordable housing type of grant, which, like I said, we got awarded $4 million in the last year on that. So that they will do that, as well as they could always turn around and sue the city for saying you aren't following this, and this is a statewide concern, so that's also a possibility. Now, we could always say, well, we'll just adopt the next one, but like I said, the next one's even harsher. There's less wiggle room. So that's kind of the thinking of why we're trying to do this one.
And has staff or city council had any thoughts with regards to the 6 municipalities that are actually suing the state over this?
I don't know, we're gonna have to keep up on that, and that's why the effective date's kind of kicked out.
Yeah.
We
I
kicked
Googled it
out.
today, and they did their court filings this month.
Hmm.
So
What was that regarding?
it's this,
This?
yeah.
Yeah.
They're saying that they are stepping over the city's ability to do their own building codes and planning and zoning.
Hmm.
You know, it's effectively eliminating
Overreach.
home rule charter.
Yeah, right.
So
This is
there's
major
6
overreach.
towns, I looked them up, I can't remember them all now,
Mhm.
but they're up north, so they're bigger communities that can
Yeah.
actually fight it,
Yeah.
and they are. So,
Like any of them?
say it again.
Any of, you remember any of them?
I have it
just-
on my phone.
Yeah, just,
It's like Aurora,
okay.
Yeah,
City of
I think it
Aurora,
was City of Aurora was one of
and
them.
Lone Tree,
Okay.
a bunch of them. And I was just thinking that maybe, just a suggestion,
Mhm.
instead of getting in a rush to adopt it, like get your ducks in a row like you're doing, right?
Mhm.
Waiting to see
Yeah.
what happens, and then if you have to, enact it right before you're.
Right.
That's correct.
Yeah,
It's because we're a homeroom town.
I know. I understand.
We got that option.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Nick.
So, all right, I had a couple of questions. So first off, I need to understand about the regulation a little bit better, because if I have to make accommodations for an electric hot water heater and electric furnace, then that means that continues all the way back to the breaker box
It
where
does.
I have to.
Upgrade your panel.
Yeah, upgrade
And-
for that wattage
And potentially your transformer.
yeah, this is crazy.
Our
Not only
Greenwood Village,
so
Lafayette, Westminster.
where does this line stop? Because if the houses have to upgrade for the demand, then that means that the city pole transformers don't meet that demand, that this
Yeah.
potential anymore, and we gotta upgrade that as well.
Yeah. So
I thought I also saw that it's not just that, but you also have to have the house wired to be ready to accept solar panels.
that's
and-
coming up.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is for new construction.
Right?
Yeah. So
Okay.
when we'd have to keep that in mind when we're creating new
okay, so
subdivisions.
grandfathering in the old
Yeah.
stuff.
All the old stuff now. A
Okay.
lot of the new subdivisions are going to be relying on old infrastructure,
Okay.
older infrastructure. So it does have a role to play in.
What
and I
about
mean-
if it's a remodel?
So remodels are up to the jurisdiction. So I'm gonna tell you, if as me as the head of development services, we'll probably be really lenient.
Grandfathering?
Yeah,
Okay.
as best we can. Unless you're like, I can't quite call like a demo and then rebuild
Right.
rehab. So,
Right.
but as far as anything short of that, we'd be looking at as
Um,
much leniency as we could give, just because it's up to us. We enforce.
The
With
next
these
thing-
requirements, is the city gonna have a buyback program
Buy back what?
on your electricity?
For solar.
Oh, for solar, we have one. It's not very good, but we have one.
Does the city have one now?
Yeah, we do. You
Buy
can't.
back program?
Yeah, you can sell. Like I said, it's not good, but you can do it. And that's out of design from my ARPA.
The next question that I had is, we were talking about the amount of building permits that we was gonna have, and I'm telling you, this is a substantial increase
It
for
is.
having to plan for this load on your house.
Mhm.
So, we're missing an opportunity here, because if the rest of the state puts this in, and the price per square foot goes up, and our town doesn't,
Yeah,
then we've got people looking at us to build.
yeah,
I
I
mean-
understand that.
I really see the other side of the coin. We could get a bunch of houses built.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. And like I said, the effective date's kind of where we're kicking down the road. And I don't know. This is like I said, we've done a lot of legwork on this. We've done a lot of the cherry picking that we can out of the codes to make it as easy as possible. But just because we've had meetings doesn't mean we have to adopt it. We can always push it, delay
A
it.
lot.
Yeah, and but no, I answered other people too, so we'll see how they feel on it, on how long they would like to wait.
And who's they, like city council?
City manager and ultimately city council, yeah. On if we would, I know,
So
I think staff as a whole would be really hesitant to risk DOLA funding because we know how much it does for us.
could we ask for Les to come in and speak to us about this and tell us, because I believe withholding DOLA funding after we are already set up as home ruling is actually a retaliation, and that's specifically against the law.
It is, that's why those
So,
facilities are
I
suing the
mean, that's
state.
illegal. They can't
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we could have Les come in and help us with this, right?
Yeah, Les is well involved.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. I
And he
he's-
believes that this retaliation is legal?
He probably wouldn't talk about it because
Yeah, you probably have to talk to him about it.
I really don't know what he'd say on that. I can't speak for him.
I mean,
So-
because if I give a student a bad grade because they upset me, I can lose my job. This
Yeah.
seems like a whole lot worse than a bad grade.
Yeah, but it's also not following state regulations, so that's where they have some
Where's
backing.
the necessity at for this? See,
There's
to
an
me,
en-
to
there's an
regulate,
energy
there
crisis.
needs to be a necessity.
There's an energy crisis, and you guys know my background, so you guys know I was a
I
formerly a coal
understand.
miner, so you know where I feel about stuff like that. But that's
Are we
We
actually
have an
even
electric
using the
crisis, we
solar
don't have a
farms that are
natural
outside
gas
of town?
crisis.
what's that?
Are we actually even using the solar farms that are outside of town?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, solar farms generate. They do pretty well for themselves.
For our community?
Oh, not.
See,
our-
so
our-
how can
our-
we expect us to be concerned about an energy crisis when we're not even using the solar farm here?
ARPA purchases power from, or ARPA has plenty of. We purchase our power through ARPA.
Okay,
They have plenty of solar
all right,
farms. They're going to put another one in
right?
outside of town.
Yes, sir, I know.
So we do get some of it from renewable energy.
Okay.
Yeah. So ARPA's a different monster too.
It's
So
just, I don't know that if we're gonna limit our new buildings by doing this. I mean, I know
It-
that you're not
we
gonna
we
be able
are.
to build
The answer
anywhere.
is yes. This is an additional cost. There's definitely additional cost with this.
And, you know, not only are you gonna do that, but you're also gonna hurt our businesses that have been businesses here in our community for a very, very long time, family businesses.
I mean,
You're
it's
gonna
just
force people to make a change to electric.
no.
No, you ain't.
This is only new builds.
No, for me.
This is only
Don't
new
get
builds.
grandfathered in.
It's
Well, no, I mean, on the new builds, if you're gonna
Right.
put this expense in, you're just gonna go with the electric stuff.
that's right. That's exactly, and that's what they want.
Well, that's saying bad stuff to our businesses that have been here for a while. I mean, this is directly hurting them.
Yeah, I mean, if they're going to build a new building,
Right.
they have to understand the cost. If they have a building, they're probably better off remodeling.
I understand.
So, which is another thing that we're
I
going.
appreciate you, Nick. I'm not trying to give you a
No,
bad
no,
time.
I understand. This is not an easy. It's not an easy one. Trust me. Yeah, we went back and forth. We worked pretty hard on this one.
And does it, not to sound, I'm just gonna ask the question, does it even really matter what we think if city council's the one that's, you've already been to them?
Oh,
Does
definitely.
it pass here and then go there, but if they already want it and the
Yeah.
city manager wants it, does it even really matter?
No,
what we think?
and I
This
don't
is just
know.
for-
No, it definitely. Your guys' voice is definitely gonna be heard because I'm gonna go and pass along. You guys have voiced more concern than I've heard so far. So the last 30 minutes, which is fine because we need to hear the questions. It needs to be out in the public that this is going to incur costs on new buildings. Like I said, we're going to learn a lot because we have electric only. We have 2 electric only developments going right now, and there's kind of reasons for that. They also get other benefits than just following codes, and they're not even following a code because it's not adopted. So
Is the city of Trinidad's electric infrastructure even capable of handling?
that I know the power and light department is going through a modeling, so they're working on what infrastructure needs upgraded. So
Because it's old.
it is old. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know that they're working on getting a model of their infrastructure to see where the weak points are and where they need to upgrade, as well as I think a new substation, which is a big piece of that. So,
Yeah, and then who has to pay for that?
oh, we will. The
Yeah.
city will, or I guess it'll probably end up being power, light, and the enterprise. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
And then they'll raise the rates even more.
Yeah. Oh, they haven't raised since whatever. So
Yeah.
the kilowatts.
Since 1922.
Yeah. No.
Just
I understand.
more light bulbs.
Yeah, and it is. This is it's gonna be a strain on our electric as infrastructure. It is. It's a big strain as we get new builds. Now, like I said, we got remodels. It's up to the jurisdiction, which is I'm happy to hear, because a lot of times they'll be like, if it's over 50%, if it's over an X amount of value. So luckily they left it up to the jurisdictions, in which case, like I said, as long as I'm as part of the development services team, we'll probably be pretty lenient.
What has electrical staff said about, have they had any input at all as far as?
Yeah, I've talked to, or at least I've talked to the power director. He's aware. We actually have to talk to ARPA, because we're going to talk about, for solar ready, there's limits to how much solar can be put on the grid through our ARPA contract. So me and him are going to try to set up the time to talk with ARPA and see if our contract will even allow us, because what would not be fair for sure is to make someone make their house solar ready and then turn around and say, oh, by the way, you can't even do that because we already tapped out on our solar. So that's going to be a
So
conversation.
does ARPA have anything, do they buy any power from Black Hills? Or do you know?
Ooh, I don't know that. Yeah, I don't know. I know our power comes from Pueblo West, Comanche, but that's about as far as I know. As well as, the grid is, yeah, I don't know. I don't know where they buy their, I think Black Hills is a different one though. Or we might buy some from Black Hills though. Yeah, I don't know. So for solar ready, this is, you have to have a space in your home that has 600 square foot of roof space that has no penetrations. It has to have a certain alignment. You can see there, 110 to 270 degrees into the north. And it doesn't have to be installed. There's nothing. It just has to be available to install solar. Like I said, we're going to talk with ARPA to see if our limits on solar will require us to say, well, we literally can't take this in because that's not. We can't have that much solar on our system. In which case, then hopefully we could amend that out or not accept this and then still be okay just because we have that backing.
Does this include the solar ready? Does it include the dead man switch at the box pre-install or just ready to be installed?
No, everything just has to be ready. So this one is almost entirely on plans. This isn't actually any building other than
Conduit in place.
conduit in place. Yeah.
Right.
So you have to run your conduit.
That's not a big deal.
It is an extra cost as well, though.
The
So
roof cost is gonna go up.
and typically looking at, because we do get quite a few solar projects or solar on homes. Typically homes are overbuilt so well that you don't have to worry about the extra weight of the solar panels. Now, if you go, and who knows how the future works in the solar panels, maybe they'll get heavier, so then maybe there would be a change. But right now, your typical home design has enough safety factor to take in your solar panels for your roof.
They're getting lighter too. So.
Yeah, I imagine they get lighter because that's the way TVs worked.
Yeah.
That's the way everything seems to work. So yeah, like I said, this is just basically on paper. And I don't know. And see, in the conduit, you don't even have to install. You just have to have a pathway for your conduit. So you have to identify a pathway. You don't have to install
Build your
that.
house in the shade. It's over 70% of the day in the shade. You're exempted.
You're
from all
exempt.
that.
Yeah.
That's what it says.
Yep.
I just start building in the shade.
Yeah. And see, that a lot of the communities that push this stuff, they'll have stuff like that because they sit up in the mountain range.
Right.
And then, yeah. Let's see here.
Yeah.
Then this is commercial. It's pretty much the same thing, except for I think it's bigger. It's 40% of your total roof area, minus the area for skylights, deck, setback areas. So
That's pretty substantial
It's
for
a
a flat roof.
that's a big. Yes, it is. Now the good thing about it is you have a big flat roof. You don't just have to find a place where you don't have any perforations.
Yeah.
And then you could
almost half of it.
Yeah, but then you could and then you could identify.
It
when
can
they're
still be
talking-
divided up into sections, right?
Yeah, you could divide it into sections.
Okay.
So if you have a flat roof, you could you put your perforations in a row, which they usually are. You could divide it up. You have 80%.
Your solar field can be separated though. Yeah, you could accommodate.
As long as you can keep that pathway for your conduit
Right.
to your electrical panel.
Into the raceway, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why this one doesn't really, you get your commercial spaces usually flat or near flat, so. Yeah, this one's not too crazy.
One certified is unsuitable for solar.
EV ready. Now this was another one that's going to have some heartburn. So if you build, this is for residential, if you have a parking designation or a parking space, which you're required to have a parking space, then unless you're in the historic preservation district, then you have to have a place for receptacle within 3 feet of the designated parking space or between 2 parking spaces. You just have to have the conduit in place. It has to be a place to actually do it. And I think,
It says a minimum circuit capacity, so.
yeah, well, that's going to refer to your cable, your conduit size, because you have to string them. Yeah,
But it
your
says the
cable.
electric panel and receptacle for labeling.
Yes, so your electric panel will have to have a breaker for it as well.
A spot for it on the print.
Yeah. So it's not crazy, but to me, this is crazy. This is nuts. This is way up.
Go. A minimum circuit capacity of 40 amps.
So
It's
it's
a
not
little
a crazy
strange.
it's not a crazy change because we're talking about being able to run a wire to your panel through typically your garage. But if your panel's on the other side of the house, yeah, then you're talking about quite a bit.
Yeah.
That's for residential. Commercial does get pretty extensive for electrical vehicle. If you're less than 10 parking spaces, you could have 0 installed with 2 spaces ready. If you're over 10 parking spaces, you have 2% of spaces, and 8% of spaces are ready. Jeez, that's high.
And 10%
Ready.
capable space.
Yeah, 10% capable. That's
Man.
just a spacing thing, yeah.
But this is only for new builds.
New builds.
So anytime that a business remodels something that's
No,
already there.
yeah, we won't require this, no.
Yeah, okay, so we're just pushing to continue to get stuff.
Infill.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what probably be the bigger thing here is we'll probably end up looking at more infill.
How do we feel about a remodel? Does it have to maintain the same footprint as the original building, or can it grow?
No, I could grow. I wouldn't, yeah.
Sounds
No.
to me like we're gonna be doing a lot of remodel.
Yeah. Which is going to be a plenty of opportunity. Multifamily, so this is for like your apartment complexes. They have some different standards as well. 5%, 50%, 15% ready. Yeah, this is just all for the time that we're all going to drive electrical vehicles. So,
And everything that we already have signed is grandfathered in?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And then, I should say on here, I think, unless I missed it, but there's actually this requirement's actually already in place. This has been in place for a long time. So all those new apartment complexes we've been talking about, they'll have to conform to this, and they do. They
Okay.
they usually plan on two spaces typically, or whatever, 5% of their.
As long as they're already happy. That's all
Yeah,
that matters.
they plan on it. They're well known when they work in some of these bigger jurisdictions. So, then there's some waivers that you could get, so you could waive this stuff if there's a natural disaster. So I know you're all thinking like, well, this is all one big natural disaster, Nick. Just waive it all. I'm like, I get it. So you could waive these requirements on a natural disaster. And then substantial cost differential. So this is if you could prove your cost for all this extra mechanical, electrical, plumbing, construction costs is 1% or greater, you can ask for a waiver as well.
That's true.
So there is a waiver process for that.
That's absolutely true. It'll be more than 1% of the total construction cost.
And then you have to take it down to you could waive it to the point where it goes to 1%. But you got a commercial building that's, I don't know, $4 million. 1%.
That's- yeah.
1% still a big chunk.
That's still a big chunk.
but it could help a lot.
But on a
So,
3-phase build, that's still a substantial amount too.
yeah,
Does the waiver go through the city building
Yes.
department?
yeah.
So we can sign off on our own waivers?
They're gonna apply, they'll apply for the waiver.
Heck, yeah. That's the way to do it, right there.
Yeah.
Bureaucracy, it's fine.
And then, I don't know, they have housing affordability considerations. To me, this doesn't really mean much, because all this talks about is making houses affordable the second time they're getting used. Because we're putting in all this work in the first time, the second time it's used, they don't have to put that work in, so now we're saving a lot of extra money. That's really how they
They're just
justify
gonna
it.
factor it in the resale. It's not gonna be saved.
Yeah. So that's kind of what this is speaking to as far as their housing affordability. I read it like 5 times. I was like, what are we talking about? Yeah, that's what they're saying. The second time you're saving a ton of money, so you could sell your house for more because they don't have to put in that. Or if they want to put in solar panels, they can.
You factored it on the resale. They didn't save any money.
Oh yeah, this is where I was talking about EV parking requirements. That's has already been in place. So a lot of our current developments are well aware of this. They kind of take care of that. Now it doesn't make a ton of sense to me either. You have like the Mark, that's a project over there on north of Camillus. That's 30 to 60% AMI. A lot of those people might not even have a car, and you have to put in 2 electrical vehicle charging spaces. So, but it's part of the code. They knew about it. They put them in there. They didn't hesitate. So, this is the cost breakdown. This is according to National Association of Home Builders and who's the other one? I think there was one more. Maybe not. Yeah, so 2021 IECC increased the cost of a typical. What does that see? Oh man, I'm drawing a blank there. Home, new home by 3,000, and then the 2024 IECC decreased that cost by 3,600. So that's why we're adopting the 2024, because there's some stuff that's not as. But then we cherry picked some of the stuff from 2021. Like I said, we did everything we can to make it as lenient as possible for this. 1 second, let me look that up. No dice, huh? I think this just refers to your like typical home on your.
So it seems
Oh,
to me
okay.
like the 21 standards are increasing the cost per square foot, and the 24 standards are decreasing.
That's what the research says. Now,
Then why wouldn't we adopt the 24?
because there's some stuff that is more lenient in the 2021. As far as the way a lot of the energy works is you have to get credits for the home as a whole. You have to get, and I forget exactly how many it is. It's like 80 credits. So if you do electric only, then you get X amount of credits. If you do this, you can make your home more efficient. You can put in different insulation. You get more credits depending on how you build it to get that 80. The 2021 gave you more options to get those credits. So that's one thing we adopted for sure.
Is this a situation to where the person filing for a permit could choose to exceed the 2021 and comply with 2024?
For sure. Yeah,
And so they would
there's
decrease their
there's
cost.
houses that they would conform to the 2024, 2021. They conform to the highest standard because that's what someone wants when they build.
Right.
Sometimes
Right.
they want a very energy efficient home. They could do that.
It's
So
always increase, not decrease the standard.
yeah. So let's see. PNNL cost analysis for state model electric ready code increases cost typically around $1,300, $1,250. We'll see. I don't know. I take these things. They're low typically.
Yeah.
They're lower than what you see.
Have you guys talked to any local electricians and
If
builders?
they ever called me back, yeah, I would try to. Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you now, that number, I'd at least double it.
At
Just
least.
yeah.
Probably more like triple.
They're decreasing the
And
footer sizes?
Yeah, so this is some of the stuff that they decreased areas. Duct design, reduced footing sizes, a new fastener requirement, deck loads and design, cripple wall distinction, less wood required due to rewrite of structural provisions. So 2024 actually rewrote some of the. So one thing is we're on 2018. 2018 to 2024, there's not too many changes. The 2021, there was a lot of structural changes
Right.
and actually increased costs quite a bit. So that's why we won't see as big a jump, just because our big increase is going to be from the electrical stuff we've been talking about. But as far as the high kick in structural, it's going to stay pretty similar to what it is now. Now it's expensive, but at least it's that, yeah. Because yeah, we're in the 2018 right now. So there's going to be some of your savings because we're making these things so efficient. There'll be some other stuff too I should mention, like if you're going to replace windows, there's some code requirements to make sure that they don't have to be, it's not super high energy efficient, it shouldn't be a high cost, but it's to make sure they meet a certain standard as far as how much air they're letting out. So
You said replace.
replacing windows, yeah. So
So
that's
that's not an existing structure.
yeah, but you can't replace them with like a if the window doesn't meet a certain requirement. Like I said, it's a very low requirement, but it still has to meet it.
But I thought the existing structures were grandfathered in.
That's going to be for the electrical ready, solar ready, EV ready.
So this new stuff is going to apply to all structures.
Yeah, the 2024 building code is going to apply to everything, including remodels. Like I said, there's some stuff that's easier, like structural, cripple wall design, fastener requirements, stuff like that. That'll save some costs, but you're going to incur more costs with your electric ready, solar ready, EV ready. But yeah, when you pull a permit for a remodel,
Yeah.
you will have to still meet some certain standards of the 2024 building code.
Right.
Like I said, it's not much different than 2018. So it's not we're jumping too far ahead. It's just that will be a requirement.
I understand.
Because there's requirements right now anyway. We do have a building code. Yeah, there's some of your cost savings. I don't really. So then this is where we kind of amended the codes. As I said, we cherry picked some of the stuff to make it a little bit easier on builds. This is one of those where we had to comply to that, so that's where we adopted that. And then we just eliminated, there's something about climate, tropical climate, that doesn't involve us, so we kind of just took that out. That's one of the sections we amended out of here. This is one of those sections where you're trying to get the amount of credits. So this is just saying you could use these ones, you can't use the tropical one. And then this was already in there. This is how it's going to look in the code though. So someone could click this and it'll take you to the new codes. Deleted the renewable energy because there was some stuff about having to have renewable energy in there. So we deleted that piece out of it because we could, thankfully. It's not in the 2021. We also amended this section, simulated building performance. This was going to give someone a break, basically, if you went electric only. Instead, you just have to meet 85% of the annual costs, energy costs of the standard reference design. Yeah. Let's see.
So you're gonna have a time of use pricing in your energy now?
We have one. We have one now.
Really?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
demand, on
Like I
demand.
said, a lot of this falls on how we enforce it.
So like on our bills, it doesn't break it out, like, up north where they do have it in place.
Mhm.
I had a place up there, that's the only reason I know this, and it would say your usage between this hour and this hour was this much,
Mhm.
between this hour and this hour is this much, so you were billed this kilowatt hour for this time period. It says that you're gonna be required to have time of use pricing.
Huh.
This is
That's a good question.
Yeah,
Commissioner.
it's gonna have to be an itemized bill too, in order for full disclosure, otherwise you're in trouble.
Let me ask some questions on that one.
So
Yeah,
you're
I'm not-
saying now we're charged less at different times of the day?
Oh, no, is that what this is saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jeez. I'm gonna have to get clarification on this one. I'll have to get back with you guys.
Okay.
Cause yeah, this one didn't quite make sense to me ever, so I'll follow up on that one.
The new smart meters, would it take a inventory of your time
Well,
like that?
San Isabel does, they do their bills that way. I mean, they're a co-op and same thing, I mean, they peak hours and non-peak hours and.
Right?
you don't do your laundry between 5 and 7?
Or
Yeah.
use your
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, yeah, don't do whenever it's convenient, yeah.
And
That's real.
they also rebate back
Yeah,
at the end of the year.
yeah.
I mean, we back how many kilowatt hours you use it, and you can either take it or put it on for future use.
Hmm,
That's the way they do it.
that's nice.
Down there where we're at, we're on San Isabel.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the commercial, the stuff we amended, so we added that's just us adding the model electric and ready. There's some of this stuff with the demand response lighting controls functions. It kind of seemed like you had to put them in, so we just put where installed. So as long as you don't install them, then you don't have to worry about it. And this is another one of those things where it's like the high usage time. It'll like, these things automatically dim your lights if it's a high usage time, I guess. So we're not requiring that, just putting where installed. On-site renewables, the state actually deleted their piece in the low energy and carbon code, so we don't have to worry about that. We deleted that piece of it. Yeah, I deleted just a couple other sections and then readopted the IECC. This is that one I was talking about with the credits, because this one's 2021 is easier to get those credits. That's all. I'll follow up on I'll keep following up on this. And if you guys have questions, please keep emailing me. Or call me, whatever you guys gotta do. Come in and visit me, and we'll, as they pop up. Like I said, this isn't. I don't have a deadline. I don't have a timeline to go to council. I don't know if I want to spring this on a new council. Because the council is going to be kind of shifting. So that's where I'm kind of thinking about trying to get it done in the next 2 months. But if there's enough questions and enough pushback and anything like that, then we'll keep playing it by ear. I'll follow up with the 16. I'll be reading that a little bit more than the 16 or the cities that are suing the state over that. Because we definitely want to follow that. We can't afford to be a part of it, but
Let them do it.
but let them do it to see how it works. I'm sure that'll open the gates for everything.
Exactly.
And then at 405.2, I'm gonna ask Shauna for some clarification on that one, and I'll respond back to you guys whenever I get a response from her on that piece at least. And
Who would be able to provide you numbers back on the increase in the cost?
they gave us numbers there, so they said it's.
So, but
It's
they
pretty-
asked if you were waiting for feedback from electricians. If someone that did electrical design gave you feedback, would that apply as well?
Yeah. I'll probably talk to some architects as well.
I did electrical design for 5 years.
Yeah.
I remember when the city enacted the 2018 codes.
Mhm.
Before they did that, they had a public meeting with all the contractors. They invited them all and they went over everything with them. Are you
Mhm.
planning on doing that?
We did it.
You did it.
Yeah. There was not too many showed up, but our contractors are pretty. I don't know. They're kind of spotty now. We don't have too many usual ones. A lot of them are really geared up towards a commercial, and the commercial actually doesn't have too many changes in this. So I think that was part of it as well.
How many contractors bothered to show up?
It was just 2, so,
Really?
yeah. Like I said, if,
Did,
There's
was it
enough-
just general contractors or?
yeah, it was just GCs.
So
We
the
told all of
electric-
them as they come in and pull permits.
Wow.
But, yeah, they just, there's not too many actually contractors right now, so.
If you need any help with that, just let me know.
Okay.
Happy.
Yeah, we might do it again, just because I didn't care for that turnout, and I might have Shauna come back and represent everything. Yeah, the 2 that came, they're gonna be leg ahead, because they
Right.
know what's going on now, a little bit. But yeah, we probably need to reach out to our engineers and architects as well.
Did they give feedback or just listened?
We just kind of listened, didn't really, not too much feedback, so, yeah. So we'll probably offer that again, just because I didn't like the way that one turned out, so. But, yeah.
Okay, so any other questions as far as building code adoption? Mr. Norris?
Well,
Somebody's gonna come back to us,
yeah, I know.
but
I'll come, yeah, and this will probably be it'll probably be old business next meeting. And it'll give you guys a chance to think about it, and if there's anything that pops into your minds in the time being.
We have 2 things, don't we? I mean, we have the electrical EV
Mm-hmm.
mess, and then we have the 2017, which is,
Oh, that's the next.
that's okay.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Anybody else have a? Okay, reach out to me, please, and well, like I said, this is just an opportunity to get it out in the open, and hopefully people pay attention.
Oh, yeah. Okay, if everybody's on board, we'll move up to the comprehensive plan. Okay, staff, you're at it again.
So this is kind of very just in the first stages. I think everyone has their comprehensive plan. Does everyone have a comprehensive plan? I gave one to Commissioner Moderano.
I pulled mine off
You,
the internet.
okay, you have one on the internet.
Yeah.
At least everyone has access to one. If not, if you don't, if you want a hard copy or whatever, I can print one off for you. Just let me know. Because this is going to be a long-term
If I
planning.
could get a hard copy,
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I was planning probably to get hard copies, at least of the.
Yeah, I'll need a hard copy.
Yeah.
I'll go on hard copy as well.
Yeah, no problem.
Lead on it.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Do you have a copy of this that you can
Oh,
go
yeah.
off of there?
yeah, I have a paper version, which is nice to easy to copy. The current comp plan is 8 years old, so it was done in 2017. It was actually probably developed about a year or 2 before that. I don't know, Mr. Leone, were you involved with that
Yeah.
comprehensive plan? Good. Yeah, so,
We worked on that a long time.
yeah,
Had several meetings with the city council here
okay,
with us. They were up here, we're down there,
okay.
went back and forth.
Yeah, it's gonna be a similar process. It's gonna be very extensive, try to get as much public input as we can. But like I said, this is kind of just the start of it. Just want to put on your guys' radar. I'm trying to target maybe late 2026 or 2027 for an adoption of it. If it's 2027, it's fine. That's 10 years from the previous one. That works out pretty well. And then it seems like a good time. Comes on. Chairman Leon will probably speak to this, but city manager was probably spearheading the comprehensive plan last time.
Yeah.
Tara.
Mhm.
So she told me this would probably be a good thing. She's very interested as well, just because she spearheaded it last time. She thought it'd be a good thing for us to revisit, especially with all the development we've had. We've had 2 annexations last year or 2 since I've been here, both commercial properties. That's going to affect our 3-mile plan, so how we treat our city around that, and how our future annexations are going to play into it, as well as all the strides we've made in housing. So we have, I think I told you guys last time, or I hope I've told you, we have about approximately 100 affordable houses coming online in the next 2 years, or 100 affordable housing units. So that's going to be part of this as well, to see how that's going to affect us and see where we need to
Is
really
that
work.
gonna be government subsidized, most of that?
I think there's 8 vouchers for government subsidy. So there's only 8 that's the market apartment complex. That's 40 units, 8 units will have some government assistance. Or, yeah, they're getting vouchers from our HUD. And then obviously planning commission is kind of one of the bigger voices when it comes to these comprehensive plans. This document's something I reference in almost every document I create for you guys. I ask what's a comprehensive plan say. And then some of the funding for it, we're hoping it'll be around 200,000. What's gonna happen is I'm gonna go out and find a consultant. I'm gonna reach out to McCool, who created the last one. I still work with McCool occasionally. They usually actually do my position as a consultant, so I'm gonna I'll talk to them. I'll talk with Mr. Yearman to see if he knows of any other places that have done a really good comprehensive plan, just because he has his hands in so many different municipalities, and see what consultants they used, and see if we want to use them. But we'll probably put out, and I don't know exactly when we'll put it out to bid, but to do a complete comprehensive plan. We have a good document to build off of in our 2017 one, so we're hoping it'll be about 200,000. I've already secured 50,000 through DOLA, through a planning grant. I'm going to ask for another 100,000 in an EIAF grant through DOLA to provide most of the funding for the project, and hopefully this is a good thing for us to do, though. And like I said, I already secured 50, so I'm pretty confident I can get the other 100. In which case we'll move forward and do this comprehensive plan. And then but to start, I think in that comprehensive plan, they have like a strategy section. It's in the very tail end. And in some of the hard copies, they have it actually, it's like its own little document on the back. But I have it here for everyone. You can kind of do this if you want to take one and pass it down. And that's kind of the strategy moving forward when they develop this comprehensive plan on how they want to achieve these goals that they set out. So let's see, let me grab mine. We kind of look at it there, it's, they have the goal up top, so it's offer a mix of uses and destinations that encourage residents and visitors to live, work, and play, and learn our city's core. And then protect and promote the historic character of Corazon de Trinidad, Main Street, Commercial Street, and well-established areas in Trinidad. And then you have the lead, which is, they said they have the HPC there, as well as the Main Street Board. And then some champions is the Economic Development, Planning, Zoning, Variance Commission, City Council, building owners, development community. So some of this is, but what I think would be, and then you have the type of implementation, regulatory programs, partnerships, community initiatives, and how to measure success, incentivize adaptive reuse, revise code sections, redevelopment. So I think it would be kind of beneficial for all of us, and and it's up to you guys how we do this. We could do it together as a team, we could go through it, or we could, if you guys want to take it home, kind of go through and see, when it says how to measure success, just see where you think we are as a city. And then what we can do next time is I'll talk about them, and we can all talk about how we measure, or what we put as a score, and then kind of see, and this would be a really good document for me to provide to the next consulting company to say, hey, this is kind of where we feel like we're missing. Maybe we've kind of accomplished this goal, whatever it is, because there's quite a few goals in here. So it's a lot of homework. So but if that's kind of what I envision is that you guys take your time, look through it when you have a chance, and just see, where do I feel like we're at, and.
Just so I understand, this is the document they used when they did the 2017.
So this is like the path forward that
Okay.
came out of that comprehensive plan.
Okay.
So I think it's a good point for us to start off of saying, where are we on that path? Are we still,
Understood.
we never did anything. What, should we scrap that idea, or was it a good idea and we just need to really focus on it? Or, oh no, we accomplished that. We did our city's done a good job of that. We should, or is there something like, you look at it and you're like, and you could even, I would put notes on here like, I don't see that as a priority anymore for whatever reason. Maybe our community shifted.
Right.
But I think it'd be a good place for us to start on a new comprehensive plan to see where we are on the old one, if that makes sense to everyone.
Yes, sir.
I think it'd be most beneficial if you guys take it home, take your time at it, look at the entire comprehensive plan, kind of go back and reference some other materials in there, and say, oh yeah, this is what they meant, and see how you evaluate it. And then next meeting we could go through it and kind of, I don't know exactly how I'll digitize it, but we'll go through it as a team and see where we're at. I'll do it myself as well and kind of see. But I'm more here about you guys. You guys are more involved in the community. I'm the one that gets the phone calls. So.
This is great.
Oh yeah, it's well done.
This is awesome.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with the comprehensive plan. That's why I want to reach out to McCool.
They worked hard on it.
They did a really good job. And I know Tara, the city manager, had a really good experience with them. I still have a relationship with them, so I'll reach out to them. I don't know if they do it because I don't know if the capacities. I think their capacity's kind of slimmed down a little bit since they've done this. So I need to find out if they do. But if not, we'll put it out to bid and do our normal process to see how we could do it. Just putting on everyone's radar and get you guys thinking a little bit, because this is going to be coming probably most of next year. Will be a lot of work on this. So, and that's my goal, and I think it's a good point in time for it, because our town is a little bit. We have a lot of development going on with the gas stations out on exit 18, the stuff that Mr. Duran's doing out there south side of town, as well as some other commercial developments along Santa Fe Trail. So we have some momentum, and I think it'd be a good point for us to say, hey, this is where we want to push that momentum towards. And a lot of stuff could be affected by the building code that we've been talking about. We might be more even focused on infill and how we can assist that. So
Revisions every 5 years, so that way you can stay focused, right?
yeah.
Who is community development? They're responsible for a lot of
I think
on this point.
I think-
is that in city?
I think that's going to be the development services team, which is myself and my team.
I mean, because it goes like, they're responsible for like a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
If you go through like in the other one on the comprehensive plan where they're
Yeah.
talking about the strategies, the lead person on many of them is community development, and then public works and community development, working with fire district and emergency
Yeah.
responders. But who's at community development?
It is.
Is it?
It's me.
It's just you.
You, yourself, and yourself.
I have a sister.
Okay,
She's fantastic.
you got quite a job, bud. Okay.
Quite a
Well,
job.
the thing is, I've been here for 2 years, so
Right.
And it's still like a lot of responsibility.
yeah, it is. It is a lot of responsibility. But you're lucky I enjoy it.
So are they gonna, you don't think they're gonna encompass any more land in the comprehensive plan?
I think our 3 mile. That's one thing I do want to focus on a little bit. Is our 3 mile area or 3 mile wide plan. I think we need to probably focus a little bit more. This one didn't go too deep into it. It didn't seem like it was a major factor, but with the last 2 annexations we completed, we have a lot of opportunity to continue annexation, and as well as do some other. I don't know if how much more annexation we could do on these other pieces of town, but the north side of town, there's a lot of there, and that's not just me, because I see the opportunity out there. It's people call me quite a bit, and they say, hey, how do I do annexation? Or yeah, what's the process here? Where do I need to find, if I need 20 acres, where do I find it? And I'm saying the only place you can find it on the north side of town. So it's going to be an ongoing thing for us.
And then you got the industrial park, so,
Yeah, and I'm doing.
and you got that other park they could develop going north now,
Yeah,
where Love's is, because you can go that way. There's still quite a bit of land going
Yeah.
that way.
and then there's a lot of opportunity out there, and those guys I know a lot of the property owners around there. They're kind of gearing up to make some money. Yes.
I just wanted to let you know that I myself appreciate you. I saw you step up into the position, and from what we're fixing to undertake, I just want you to hang with us.
Oh no.
Don't take
Not
off
going
on
anywhere.
us, man. We appreciate
I
you.
love this city. I'm not going
Okay.
nowhere.
This is gonna be a holy smokes kind of deal.
It's going to be a lot.
We'll get through it.
Yep. So is everybody good on that?
Yes.
How we move forward on that comp plan? You guys take your time and fill it out whenever you guys get a chance. I know you're so being busy, everyone, but and if you have questions, call me. I'm always I'm here I took last week off the entire week, so I'm here for the rest of the year, basically.
So would this be the time to try to simplify the core zone and all the
Ooh.
overlapping historic? I mean, can that somehow get simplified, or?
It might be worth a conversation.
Okay.
Not tonight, but yeah. It might be
Yeah,
a
yeah,
conversation.
no.
Yeah, but overall, it might be worth a conversation to simplify it a bit, because it is a little bit confusing.
Good, because I'm.
We-
Because it, yeah, I see it.
All right.
Okay. Anybody else with questions for the comprehensive plan?
Sorry to give you guys homework.
Okay.
It would be good to do segments of that. I mean, it's a long plan. If we could do like, let's do this part of it, I think I would do better, because I was trying to read the whole thing and I was like,
Gotcha.
you know,
Well,
I had to start.
that's
I was
fine.
like, how
Let's,
far are we gonna get there?
Let's
So, I
see.
mean,
You can do that,
Yeah, let's
but you also, maybe something else when you come back to later, when you're working on something else, is gonna come back to that. You know what I
Right.
mean? So you gotta consider that.
okay.
yeah. If we could break it up, if you guys want to break it up that way, maybe we could do half and half. I'm trying to look through it real quick.
I think it would make our discussions better. We wouldn't be in such a
That's
hurry
fine.
to
Yeah,
try and
and
get
we're
through.
not in a rush, so.
I think it would. I think you're right.
Maybe we should just
Please.
maybe we should just focus on. Let me see what the blue is for the exact.
I like that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Oh, and I'll give you guys the pages because you guys are in black and white. 1 second. Not tonight. Okay. So we got blue is community growth and land use.
Up to page 5, right?
So it's up to page 5, and then if I remember right, there's 2 on. Oh no, yeah, no, up to page 5.
Okay.
So just the community growth and land use. Yeah, let's do that. And then I think there's a couple shorter ones. Maybe we combine them. Or maybe not.
I don't know, because
Page
it
5 of
starts.
this document or the plan?
It's page 5 of that document.
This document?
Yeah. So it says on the
What's
top.
our strategy?
Yeah.
Right here, it doesn't know.
On the top right-hand corner.
Oh, okay, I see it.
Page 5 there.
It's fine.
Let's. Yeah, that one there.
So go through 5?
I would do. Yeah, and then I think 6 starts the next.
Number is it?
He said he's going 1 through 5, right, 5 back here.
Okay.
You got 7, you're gonna come back. Come back one. That's 6. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So we'll have a meeting
next month. Yeah, we could we'll go through and review all that. And,
So what it's saying is page 1 through 5, is what we'll do next.
yeah, and then you guys just kind of let me know what your skill is. If you guys want to do 1 through 10, 1 through 5, whatever. Even if it's just a thumbs up or a thumbs down, we'll figure it out and we'll work together, kind of talk through it. But I like the idea of kind of breaking it up, Mr. Morris. That makes a lot more sense.
Make for a lot less long nights.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember the last time y'all did that.
Okay, moving on to reports then. Chairman reports. I don't have really nothing to report. I did see they cleaned up some of the river walk again.
Yeah.
I don't know how much they got out of that, but cleaned
Yeah.
up some again.
Yeah. No, I think there was doing another. This week they're doing another. Going to go do another cleanup. I guess it's been pretty bad down the boulevard. So, yeah, they went for.
You mean the city's cleanup with the loader, or the not the community cleanups?
No.
Yeah,
No,
okay.
it'd be the city
City.
cleanups.
Yeah.
Right.
Commissioners reports.
I don't know, has anybody, for Semino Park, has the idea of a rolling sprinkler schedule? Has anybody discussed that as an idea to?
I don't know if it's been an idea. I'll bring it up. It can't hurt.
Because you could also do, now that we go, as we get out of sprinkler season, we could also do a rolling leaf blower groups, you know, if they went through and ran the leaf blowers when people were starting to congregate, they might not congregate.
Yeah.
Well, we have that ordinance that they passed.
Well, and it
It's
seems
got-
like they've
it's
been
gotta
doing more
start to
on
be
the
enforced.
enforcement, but, I mean, I've seen, what got me was when I went by there and the kids couldn't use the playground because now the unhoused had moved from their side of the park to take over the whole park, and that's like, I thought that was, we need to have, that's a beautiful park and you need to have access to it, and we don't have access to it now.
That's terrible.
So,
That's why we passed an ordinance, that it's
Yeah.
not being enforced.
Right.
That's what it comes down to.
okay. Well, they're moving, they're playing whack-a-mole, I mean, I think. Aren't they moving people around a little bit,
I
or?
don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
The only thing that I wanted to bring up is about our ordinances as far as like how we're enforcing dilapidation, weeds, trash on properties. I don't think it's being done unless someone calls in to complain. And people don't like to be
They don't.
that neighbor.
Yeah.
I have become that neighbor, but I don't like it. And I think the majority of people in our community don't want that responsibility on them. So they don't call in and complain. And then it seems like there's some lack of follow-up. So you know, I don't want to say addresses or names, but I can privately come talk to you about it. But there's certain places where it's a problem. The city comes out and gives them a ticket. They have so much time to clean it up. They wait till the last second to clean it up, and then the next day,
It starts over.
it starts over again, and it's a vicious cycle. There's got to be something, and I don't know if that's something to bring up. I've talked to Tara about it. I don't know if it's something that goes just through, and I should have asked her, but does it go just through staff, or is that something that needs to be changed at the city council level with enforcement? Like, I know that ordinances
Yeah.
are on the books.
Uh,
It's just that there's a disconnect, and it's a pride of ownership problem, right?
yeah.
And it's reflective of the pulse of the community. So outsiders coming in, you drive them through the community and they go, wow. You know, there's something wrong. And I don't know how we change that and encourage pride of ownership in taking care of the properties that we do have. But I don't understand why we have ordinances if they're not, if everyone equally and fairly is not expected to.
Yeah, I can't speak for code enforcement because I don't oversee that department. That goes through the police department, which they got a new police chief. So I wonder, I do think he'll probably have some thoughts on how it's ran. So there might be some changes coming. But as far as dilapidation, we try as best we can to stay on top of the houses. We have a list and we go through it once a month. And we send new notices, or if they don't respond, we'll send them to court. And we tried as best we can. There's quite a few that just ignore us.
I feel like there's something missing. And I'm not pointing fingers, but there's other communities where these things get taken care of.
Yeah,
right?
and it could easily be capacity, because that eats a day of my month.
Right. It
And
not
then-
necessarily should be you, right?
Yeah.
So like there's
But-
communities where they do
I
it
don't
in
know.
zones.
I don't
So
know.
like you take a zone
Mhm.
and you have someone responsible for this zone. And you have someone responsible for this zone, and you have someone responsible for this zone. I'm just using that as an example.
Yeah.
And they proactively take care of it, and then the next step would be the courts. Like, what's going on with our municipal courts? Do they ever follow through with it?
Yeah.
Is there ever, like, does it ever go through the whole process of saying, we're taking this seriously, we passed these rules for a reason,
Yeah.
and we have to live in a community that expect.
Yeah, and
I
I
don't
know
know.
one thing we've done too is just recently worked with the code enforcement on the vacant properties. So they're sending out batches of letters to known vacant properties saying you have to be very registered, because that's a thing. And then that gives us some power to keep it from being trespassed on. So if they sign that that vacant register, they'll say also in that, they'll say, if there's someone on my property that, then the police can trespass. Right now, what happens is I have to go to,
Get the owner.
I have to get the owner has to write me a letter saying no one's allowed on my property, and then I give it to the police, and then they go and trespass. But now, if they can do that, so we're trying to do what we can on the vacant property. We kind of hammered out procedure, and that was done in the last month or so. So now we've been trying to do that. And yeah, like I said, the code enforcement, that's a police department, so I can't really speak on that one.
Sure.
Yeah. But I appreciate you bringing it up, and then I've always thought the pride in ownership is a big thing for us, and I've wrapped my head on how we could help people see that, I don't know, help people get there.
By fining them for not doing it.
Yeah.
It doesn't take money to clean up your property. It doesn't take money to not allow trash to accumulate.
Yeah.
It's not a financial burden on people to keep things clean.
Yeah. I know.
And if they can't do it, then you force them to do
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So, is there anything on the building on Main Street?
I'll report on that if that's okay. After in my report.
Okay.
Is that right?
So, and also, when they had the bike run here, they're in, there was a couple people, and as they parked, because there was a lot of people, they parked up by the courthouse, parked everywhere. And they had to go around that building that the tops fell in,
Yes.
where the fire was.
Mhm.
Is that gonna stay like that forever, or is something gonna be done with that, or? Because, there were several people, you know, that,
Yeah. The property owner was trying to deed it to the city, and city council didn't want it. So
I don't know.
Which property?
where's
are you
the-
talking
first
Oh,
and
okay,
Maple. So the city council didn't want it at that point because they didn't want the responsibility to knock it down.
Clean it up.
So I don't know. We've sent. He's been through the court system. He'll probably have to go back. Unfortunately, he's trying to unload the property, but in its state, it's really hard. So
Was there an insurance company involved?
no insurance on the building.
no, we didn't have.
Didn't have any.
No.
No insurance, guys.
Yeah. So we put up the fence just because the roof was falling in, the parapet wall was
Yeah.
coming down.
And there's a few more bricks that have fell down since.
Oh yeah. And so that's why that fence has kind of been there. The city actually, that's the city's fence. That was just a block off the right of way type of thing. We didn't want people. But that's coming in on a year that we put that up. It was last October 30th. I remember because I did it in haste because it was going to be Halloween.
So, I'd like to bring up that, what I lecture is that in order to have deterrence, you have to have three factors. You have to have a penalty that people fear, and some type of penalty. You have to have a chance that they're actually going to be caught and monitoring is done. And last, you have to have that the penalty is going to be enforced. If you don't have these three things, you will not have deterrence. That's fact. So, all those things that we're speaking about, if those three things aren't being put in place, it's just not gonna work.
Yeah.
What if there was a bank involved in that building?
No, I don't think so. I think he was the sole
Or
owner.
he had it paid for?
You said no bankruptcy.
No, he's the sole owner. He has
Did he have
39.
it paid for?
Yeah, they had $39,000 in liens
That's
on
why
it.
he didn't carry it. That's why he didn't carry
Yeah,
it.
right.
Yeah. Then there's an addition of $39,000 in liens, or maybe $29,000 in liens on it. So someone would have to pay $29,000 and then inherit that building as is.
Is the
That's really
construction,
tough.
is the construction class at the college still doing houses?
Yes. Yeah, they are currently working on Angle and First. Kind of that weird through there. Yeah. Commissioner Spain, do you have anything else?
No, I'm great. Thank y'all for.
Anything else?
If you don't mind,
Okay, so Chairman of the board.
yeah, I'll go. So Circle K staff is working on a development agreement because Circle K has to do some improvements to Goddard. So that's taken quite a while for the development agreement, just because it's our lawyer than their lawyer. So those take a while, especially with a company like Circle K. But after that, we get that development agreement. They should be, coming asking for a building permit. So that'll be good. for the Circle K that's over there off Goddard and exit 15 right there where the old Frontier was.
So that's all settled with the state?
Yeah, it's almost settled with the state. The Mark project, that's the one on North of Camillus. They submitted building permit documents, so that's getting reviewed. There's some other issues that take up some little bit of cleaning up for title work, but that project looks like it's moving forward. So that's the 40 units. I think I mentioned that's 30 to 6% AMI. Church Street, that's the project that's going on right down here, right outside the door here, down from Animas all the way to along Church from Animas to Commercial, and then down Convent from Main to Plum.
Right.
So that project, it has a contract. We're waiting on a schedule from the contract when the contractor's going to start. But yeah, that one's funded through DOLA, $4 million approximately. And then the project itself on Holy Trinity, they are lining out their funding. They have a CHAFA loan that they're working on. Like $7 million CHAFA loan. It has a really low interest rate from the CHAFA, so should be good. They're expecting to get all their funding done by the end of the year, in which case they'll put out their project to bid and start working on the remodeling of the school into apartment complex. 46 units on that one. So that's going forward. Like we said, Church Street, we're going to have a public meeting after we get the schedule lined out. That way we can talk with all the stakeholders in the area, let them know that this is going to be an inconvenience for a year, like Chairman Leone said earlier. It is a year-long project, so it is full rebuild, full remodel full rehabilitation of the street, all utilities. So sewer through there is 24 foot deep. Luckily, they're going to slip line that sewer so that they put a sleeve on the inside and it cures around and it creates a new plastic liner. Yeah. Now there is 6 points where they have to go dig down actually and repoint it to realign it because the sewer has been shifted one way or another. So I have to get that done first, and they'll slip line it, and then new water power and gas all going through the utilities, and then re-brick streets, concrete sidewalks, the whole thing. It'll look just like First Street, but down here for that kind of X intersection there. So year of pain, year a bit of complaining, but it'll be well worth it after a year or so when it's all nice and done. Yeah.
Question is
You're gonna have several headaches down here.
I'm ready. I've already had a couple.
Question is which will be completed first, the Church Street or the Opera House?
Yeah.
Don't even go there.
Maverick, I think they're open. I haven't been out there, but I think they got their CO, so
They're open.
they're open. Yeah, that's awesome.
Ain't gonna be too long before Love's open too.
Love's
Yeah, they're close.
Love's is asking for a CO within the next couple weeks, so they will be looking for a CO.
Didn't they?
Yeah.
They put up the Loves really quick.
They work 24 hours a day.
They just work.
Yeah, so those two projects are that one's done, which is awesome. I'm extremely happy Maverick's over.
Looks good.
So they're nice places. They're really nice buildings.
I agree.
Really. Like I said earlier, Duran Ventures, they completed Wahatoya. That's actually been renamed to Duran Way. That's been all done. They got their bond release. They put in a warranty. So it's a pretty nice street, actually. If you go drive it, or if you haven't, drive it, walk it, whatever. It's a really nice avenue street, and I'm looking forward to having 10 more houses along that. And yeah, it should be really awesome. Great views up there. He's saw a heck of a view. And then he's finalizing the infrastructure along Morris Canyon for those 4 houses that we approved across from the school there. They're still finalizing their
Is that the
infrastructure.
one with the septics?
They're putting septics in, that's correct.
Pretty nice.
And then the last one is the Opera House. The city staff went and inspected the building. We had a structural engineer going in with us as well. I'm still waiting on his report, but he was very familiar with the building. He's very familiar with historic structures like that, so I'm very interested to see. There was some major concerns he identified, And then in the process as well, we've actually received a building permit that's going through review on the building to remedy some of those issues. So that includes a bad roof. The roof is in terrible shape and doesn't take. Anyone with eyes can see that one. You go up on First Street, you can see it's in bad
Oh
shape.
my God.
So yeah,
That's great news, though.
but so the owner right now seemed like they have some wheels to get stuff going. So hopefully that's what
Yeah.
we're encouraged by, and hopefully we could work with them to get that done. We still want to see the report from the engineer though, because he's his report's he's a structural engineer. That's what they do, and we want to make sure that the building isn't just taped together. We want it to be safe. So
Right.
that's a big thing. That's all I got.
Okay. Anybody else? Questions? I have a motion to adjourn. Motion, Mr. Hank.
I'll second it.
Second. Roll call.
Spain,
Yes, sir.
Rolo,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Moderano,
Yes.
Leone.
Yes.